Hey, it's Dead Guy Cardboard. I want to do a contest response for Sconnie Tradition, Scott. He's reached 600 subscribers, so congrats on that. And he wanted us to talk about our family history and lineage. I certainly have downtime right now, so I wanted to, share that with you guys. I'm also showing some Cincinnati Reds players in the T206 set because I'm from Cincinnati, and my dad's side is all from Cincinnati. My dad's side is 100% German. He grew up in the west side of Cincinnati, which is a big German community. They settled there in the 1800s, so they've been there for quite a long time. I don't know too much other than that about my dad's side, but I do know a lot about my mom's side because my grandfather had all these records passed down from family members and old photo albums. He was also a history buff, a really smart guy. He was fluent in 4 languages. He was a double doctorate. So we know a lot about my mom's side of the family, and it's pretty interesting, actually. We're descendants of Richard Warren, who he actually has his own Wikipedia page. He came on the Mayflower. So we're OG Americans, I guess you could say. And Richard Warren's he has a lot of interesting descendants. So I'm related also to Ulysses S. Grant, FDR, Sarah Palin, Taylor Swift, Orson Welles, Henry David Thoreau, Richard Gere, Ella Bean, Ernest Hemingway, John Cena. A lot of interesting celebs, I guess I'm related to. Also what's interesting about my mom's side is, so that was, Richard Warren was born in 1578, he died in 1628. But I'm also related to John Proctor, who was born in 1632. And John Proctor, if you know anything about the Salem witch trials in the play and the movie The Crucible, he's like the lead character. He's the guy that Daniel Day-Lewis played. So that's my great grandfather. And he was the guy that defended against all these women being accused of witches in Salem, Massachusetts. And he himself was hung and killed for being a witch and a supporter of witches. And my great grandmother, Elizabeth Proctor, was his wife, was imprisoned for being a witch, and they just put her in prison because she was pregnant. By the time she gave birth, though, they decided this is all crazy. But had she been killed, my lineage would have been cut off. I remember I learned about my relationship to John Proctor, related to John Proctor and Elizabeth Proctor, when I was in like 4th or 5th grade, and that was also around the same time that the Harry Potter books came out. So I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I'm related to Harry Potter. And then on my mom's side, I'm also just a mix of Welsh and Irish and Scottish. So I'm a pretty white mutt. And I also wanted to show off some T206 Reds players since I'm from Cincinnati. Here's the Rebel Oaks. I always love this action shot, the polar bear back. And then Art Fromm, that cool card, Sovereign back. And then Bob Ewing. And then it's Bob Betcher, also a polar bear back. I also I took a few photos of my old family albums, and one of them stood out to me. One of my ancestors. I don't know who this guy was. I didn't write down his name, but I think I might also be related to DiCaprio. I don't know who the guy that is on the bottom left, but this guy looks a lot like Leonardo DiCaprio. Finally, before I go, I wanted to remind people to stay safe and healthy throughout this whole pandemic, and also kind of remind people that our family, all of us have had ancestors that have been through a lot worse. The Spanish flu, plagues, world wars, all kinds of wars throughout history. So this quarantine, why it sucks, and it's a pretty big deal. It's just a reminder that our ancestors, everyone's ancestors, have been through a lot worse. So hang in there, things will get better. And I'd love to hear everyone else's family history and lineage stories. I'm sure we're all related to some capacity to someone famous or interesting. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching.